So a fight that a lot of people didn't know was happening this weekend. I actually only found out it was happening this weekend due to K1, a member of my stream, a couple of days ago mentioned it. I think it was K1. Shout out K1 though if it was you. But anyway, yeah, he mentioned that Jake Paul is fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, I knew this fight was happening, but I generally, for the life of me, didn't know it was happening this weekend. It's obviously very poorly placed to put it on this weekend, I should say. Obviously, UFC is doing Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. That's the fight most people are going to care about. I know people say, "Oh, different. It's different for a different audience," but like that's bullshit. Like the people who are going to watch a Jake Paul fight are also going to watch the UFC. But yeah, it seems a bit silly to put it on here. You could have at least done it when it was one of the bad fight nights or something. But all of that jazz out the way. Jake Paul's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now Chavez Jr. obviously the son of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Or just Julio Cesar Chavez. Very great boxer. Uh, yeah, and then obviously Junior at one point in time was pretty alright in his own right, but at this point in time, he's not really that good. Now, I want to just mention a few things before we get into this matchup. We've never seen Chavez Jr. get like knocked out. I think against Daniel Jacobs, he quit in the corner, but we've never actually seen him get knocked out, I believe. Although I'm seeing a lot of TKOs on his record here. I could have sworn Chavez Jr. had never been chinned before, but these are all looking like retirements. He's never been knocked out cold or anything like that. Uh, yeah, these are just like corner stoppages. He's never been properly put out. He's got a decent chin. Like he survived Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, this was not. Well, I mean, this was 2017. That's not that far ago. So he's got a good chin. He can take a punch, but he can sort of quit off a little bit. He's not that great. He was never like a elite boxer or anything at any point in time. He's never been anyone like super impressive. But there's like other factors you got to put into this fight as well. Chavez Jr. is 39, which isn't that old. It is old, but it's not like super old for a boxer. Obviously, Evander Holyfield was champion at like 50, I think. George Foreman was champion at like, maybe it was George Foreman who was champion at 50. I'm coming off as like such a boxing casual, but I swear Evander Holyfield was still winning fights when he was pretty old as well, but they're heavier guys, they're at a heavier weight class. Now, this is at cruiserweight, 200 pounds, but Chavez Jr. is not a natural 200 pounder. Let's just say it for what it is. I think when he fought Uriah Hall, I think he weighed in 184. Like does it say the weight? I don't think it says the weight. It was a 200-pound fight, but I don't think he actually weighed the whole limit. He's going to be greatly undersized here. You look at his other fights. He's meant to be fought 175 pounds against Anderson Silva. He fought 184. I think he missed weight for that fight too. Yeah, he missed weight. He's not very disciplined. Is Chavez Jr. And he's like naturally a smaller guy. I think he started his career at 60 something kgs. So this is, obviously he's going in there against a much bigger opponent, a younger opponent, a more fresh opponent. And the thing that I really factor in here is Chavez Jr. got out of rehab like a year ago, or not even a year ago. He entered a treatment program last year. So he was in rehab. So Julio Chavez Jr., the son of legendary Mexican was released from jail Thursday night and entered into a residential treatment program in Los Angeles. His attorney, Guadalupe Valencia, told ESPN, and he's expected to run the program until his next court date, February 15th. Chavez, the 37-year-old former middleweight title, was arrested. Faces 3 felony, yeah. But like, this is the thing I'm talking about. This guy has been on drugs. I think he was. You said some problems with alcohol. He's obviously not got his like life fully. I know he's out of it now and he's won his fight for sobriety. But that still takes a toll on your body. That he went for abusing drugs, abusing alcohol, and now he's going into a fight. And he fought Uriah Hall after all this as well, I believe. After he did rehab and everything, he looked awful. He arguably lost to Uriah Hall, who's never known for his hands. He was known as a kicker. and he wasn't even a boxer, and he actually went in there and he arguably lost to Uriah Hall. I think Jake Paul's a lot better of a boxer than Uriah Hall. I think he's a much bigger man than Uriah Hall. I mean, Jake Paul's literally beat Anderson Silva right after he beat Chavez Jr. Like, I don't know, this fight just is very silly, in my opinion. It's going to look on good on his resume when you look at that. Like, Canelo Alvarez couldn't knock him out. He's got how many wins does he have? He's got 54 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. Like, yeah, that all looks nice and shiny on paper, but he's taken a lot of damage. He's not the most motivated fighter in the world anyway. I think Jake Paul is going to win this, and I think he's probably going to get a TKO. I think he's going to really make a push to get the knockout. Chavez Jr. has a really good chin. This is going to be the biggest guy he's ever fought in Jake Paul. Jake Paul's massive. And he's gonna just land big shots. Now, maybe he doesn't put him out cold, but I think he will get like a standing TKO if he doesn't like full on knock him out. Chavez Jr. is just always, he's just never been the best. All right, like he was good at one point in time, but he was never elite. And now he's a lot older, taking a lot of damage. He's had a lot of fights. You got to also factor in he's probably done a lot of hard sparring over the years. Obviously Jake Paul wouldn't take a fight like this if there wasn't a very good chance he's going to win. And I think he is going to beat Chavez Jr. here. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It is what it is, man. He's going to win. And I don't really think it's going to be all that competitive. He's so much bigger that the shots are going to really... Because Chavez Jr. is not like the most defensively sound guy from what I've seen, Maybe he's going to... Maybe that he is like won his fight against sobriety. Maybe he's going to come here and he's going to show levels, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think he's going to go in there and he's going to look amazing. After that Uriah Hall fight, he looked completely done. That's not a guy you picture in there going in there and beating anyone who's been semi-competent in boxing. Like Uriah Hall is not a boxer, and he was getting tooled up in that fight. That's just such a bad look, in my opinion. I think that we're going to see Jake Paul really just like bully him around a little bit. He's going to be much bigger. He's probably going to have the reach as well. Yeah, Jake Paul's going to have the reach advantage. Let's look at the stats for these guys. The majority of people going with Paul. Yeah, look, he's got 3-inch reach advantage. He's 6'1". I mean, Chavez is 6 foot, but he's like obviously notoriously fought at lighter weights. Yeah, and he's 11 years younger. That's going to be big. Yeah, this is a tailor-made fight for Jake Paul, and he's going to add another name. But I'm glad he's beating up these boxing, like wash boxers. It's a lot better. Like, he beat Mike Tyson, he beat Chavez Jr., because now they can shut up about MMA guys getting beat. Obviously, he beat Mike Perry, and he beat Nick Diaz, and he beat Anderson Silva, and he beat Tyron Woodley, and Ben Askren recover. Let's hope Ben Askren recovers well. Shout out to Ben Askren. He needs a lung transplant, so hopefully he can get that. But, like, look, he just beat so many of these, like, MMA guys. Now he's finally beating up all the boxers, wash boxers, and I'm glad, I don't care at this point, They were mocking MMA fans and everything because all our fighters were going over to boxing and they were getting slapped or they were losing to Jake Paul by decision or whatever it is. Yeah, so I'm glad that the boxers, he's fighting boxers. People keep saying they wanted to see him fight boxers. Yeah, he's fighting washed boxers, but hey, he's still fighting boxers. Every single UFC champion he beat, everyone was, oh, look, UFC champions, they suck at boxing and all that. Yeah, I'm going to use that same logic when it comes to boxing. Now, it is a weird fight when you think about it. He literally fought Mike Tyson this last fight. Like, it's a huge fight. I feel like Chavez Jr. isn't really like the biggest draw at all. I'm not sure where this fight is. Let's just check where it's going to be. I don't think it says where the event is. Oh, it's going to be in Anaheim, California. Big Mexican-American population there. Mexican population in general. So I'd imagine Chavez Jr. is probably going to have a lot of support. He's got the Chavez Jr. name. I mean, it's the Cesar Chavez name. But yeah, I think Jake Paul's going to get this one done. And he's going to be 12-1. Crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't like... I know he's sober and everything now, but his body is obviously going to be a lot weaker. He's older. He didn't look after his body at all. And he's fighting at such a heavier weight that you just got to... All these factors really go to Jake Paul. And plus, Jake Paul's obviously betting on wash guys, but he is improving. At this point in his career, Cesar Chavez Jr. is 100% not improving. He's almost 40 years of age. And yeah. So I'm going to go Jake Paul TKO to get this one done. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you subscribe to this video, put on notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.